This historic 25th anniversary season of the Pirelli World Challenge Championships culminates this weekend in the Great Salt Desert with the final 2 rounds to determine the champion. It's high stakes at high elevation, and it's next. Welcome to the Optima Battery Fan Zone in the Pirelli World Challenge paddock and an absolutely fantastic facility, Utah's Miller Motorsports Park, for the Nissan Championship finale brought to you by Motul. Hi, everybody. I'm Greg Creamer, joined as always by Jeff Lepper. And Jeff, we come in here. This is the final 2 rounds of the touring car divisions, Touring Car A, Touring Car B. And as we come in here, 2 of those divisions are still wide open with very close championship fights.
Yeah, sure. Michael DeMeo, he gets the championship in the touring car class, so much so that he actually missed the 2 Brainerd rounds and still had the championship clinched. So he's trying to hit that record, tied for 8 wins on his season, looking for number 9, move ahead of the record books of 7-time champion Peter Cunningham. Pretty good names there. Going to the TCA battle, Jason Wolf has it in his Kia. Shea Holbrook, she wants it in her Honda. Ernie Francis Jr. has a slight chance. TCB, got to be Brian Price. He's been the man all year, came in strong in his rookie season, but you got 14-year-old Nate Stacy in second, and don't count out Tyler Palmer in that Mini. He's coming on strong. Some good runs from Mini here. He might just eclipse those 2 guys in front of him.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Particularly in Touring Car B, that age spread of those top 3 running for the championship right now. You've got a driver that's in his 30s, you've got a driver that's in his early 20s, and a driver that's 14, and they all have been absolutely superb this year. And you're right, obviously Jason Wolf in Touring Car A really went after it early, but Shea Holbrook, after, she's got more wins than anybody else, but she had a couple of penalties that hurt her in terms of points. She's not giving up. She's fighting back. These should be absolutely fantastic to watch these rounds unfold. You talk, of course, about touring car. DeMeo just dominant this year. The Compass 360 team, just an incredible season, almost matching what they did a few years ago. That's tough to do, and they've done it.
Absolutely. 8 wins for Michael DeMeo, 9 wins for the team this year. Only 2 other guys have beat him.
But there's another great story that's brewing as well, and it doesn't have anything to do with championship fights. It's in the touring car division, and it's the debut of SCCA President and CEO Lisa Noble. Very accomplished in open-wheel divisions in club racing, but has never run in the Pirelli World Challenge Championships before. It's a special day, and it's also a very special cause.
This is the first time I've ever driven a fendered race car, so that didn't impact me as much as the turbo. So you know that I drive small formula cars. That's been what I've driven for, I don't know, 3 decades. We'll call it that. And having something that needed a little bit more horsing around the track and getting the turbo figured out was a challenge, and I'm still working on it. I got a call about 3 weeks ago asking me if I'd like to do this. Absolutely wanted to jump in it. First of all, to support the series and get a feel for what the competitors are doing, what the teams are doing, but also to support this great charity, Maxton's Fight. Maxton Prill is a young boy, just turned 3 years old, and diagnosed with juvenile leukemia. Last November, I saw Maxton. I put him in my race car. He was a ball of fire. 3 days later, he had this diagnosis. He and his family have been working through this. It is heartrending to see a little boy like that.
Tell you, she's one impressive driver. She's got a great pedigree. It's going to be, fun to see her have fun in that class, and also, what a cause.
Well, I did say that was great to see Supermax. Go Supermax is what we want to do, and that's what we're here for.
Absolutely, no question about it. Now, we talked about touring car. Well, you know what? Michael DeMeo has dominated it this year. Only 3 other drivers have clipped the occasional win from him. And when we come back, we're going to have one of those guys, and he's pretty special indeed, so stay with us. And welcome back, everybody, to the Optima Battery Fan Zone here in the Pirelli World Challenge paddock at Miller Motorsports Park. It is the standing start, the pre-race show for the Pirelli World Challenge coverage. Promised you a very special guest. He has arrived. His name is Steve Doherty, and of course he's the 2012 winner of the Nissan GT Academy. And first of all, Steve, we got to get into that just a little bit. That has proven to be an amazingly effective tool for Nissan to harvest really some amazing talent. A lot of people were wondering, would the transition of sitting in a chair in your living room transition into going 180 miles an hour literally with your butt in the seat through a corner? Apparently it does, because you and others have had some tremendous success.
Yeah, I mean, the program GT Academy that Nissan has is just fantastic. They take anybody can enter. Doesn't matter who you are, size, weight, doesn't matter. You put a time in on Gran Turismo at home, and if it's fast enough, if you're in the top 32 in the U.S., then you have a chance to prove yourself to the panel of judges that you're a good enough driver in real cars.
clearly you've done that, and you proved that this year being one of very few guys to notch a win in the touring car division. And we have to start with that. First of all, how do you approach your race? Now that Michael has won the championship, you're one of the few guys to beat him heads up. Coming into these final 2 rounds now, what do you need to do here?
Here it's the same thing as before. I mean, you just have to outrun him. He's been fast all year, and he has great equipment. And our cars, we've had our little bobbles here and there, but we got them working really nice, and hopefully we'll give him another run for a win.
Well, that would truly be absolutely fantastic. Obviously, I've got to ask you real quick, when you talk about if you're in the top 32 in the U.S., that's 32 out of how many?
My year was over 400,000 people.
So fairly small percentile to get that level of success. So, well, thank you so much for joining us here on the show. Obviously, good luck as these races unfold. It is going to be awfully fun to watch. But right now, for those of you that maybe aren't that familiar with this phenomenal racetrack, well, we've got a guy named Andy Pilgrim to give you a tour with our Cadillac Key Corners. Enjoy this.
I'm Andy Pilgrim, and this is your Cadillac Key Corners from Miller Motorsports Park in Utah. We're coming down the long straightaway here, top of 6th gear, all the way down to the 2 marker, heavy braking down to 3rd gear, turn 1. Very important turn. It sets up turn 2 and 3. A lot of stuff going on here. Coming into turn 2, no brake here. We just come through here, 4th gear turn, very quick, and then another sweeper to the left, turn 3, a little bit of brake there, come in. Then there's turn 4, kink to the left, flat out, no problem here. Sometimes get interesting traffic stuff there. Little bit of a straightaway here, heavy braking down, tight 180-degree left, turn 5, and it opens out. It's kind of like a little bit like the parabolic, it opens out all the way out. You try to get the power down early. Turn 6, down to 2nd gear here, another 180, sets you up for a very fast right-hander, which is going to be turn 7. Come out of there in 2nd gear, up to 3rd, up to 4th gear, and then we're going to be in 5th gear, flying through this right-hander turn 7, very fast corner. And then as soon as you get out of here, you have the heavy braking, turn 8, 9, 10, down the hill here, and it's obviously transitions. We can get away with using some curbs. Coming up the hill here to turn 11, 3rd gear corner, take it in, get it out. Now a little bit of a good straightaway here. There's some good passing opportunities up here. Coming up to turn 12, 4th gear, down to 3rd gear. Pretty much faster than it looks, that corner. 3rd gear, coming into turn 13, 2nd gear. Strange 180-degree turn here. Quite a bit of banking, faster than you think, slower sometimes. Turn 14, left-hander, 2nd gear. This is the most important corner on the track because it leads onto this long straightaway, and here we are again, and that is 1 lap. That is your Cadillac Key Corners from Miller Motorsports Park, Utah.
This is an absolutely superb racing venue, and obviously that tricky little west course that they're running on presents some challenges. I love Demon Devil and Diablo, of course, but the interesting thing here that we're going to be talking about, Jeff, is what's going to unfold in those 2 remaining points battles. It's going to be fun. What do they have to do today to earn that championship?
I think you have to finish ahead of the other guy. I don't care where you're at in the track. If you finish in front of the other guy, that's what we're going to have. A lot of strategy played out. We might see Nick Janssen step into the 2nd of the 2 Kias, maybe go for the win to take that points gap over 1st to 2nd, because if Shea does win, she can pass Jason Wolf. If Nick Janssen can take that win away, then the TCA championship will still be Jason Wolf's.
Strategy. You got to love it, and it's about to unfold. Don't go anywhere. We got racing coming up. Let's go trackside. Revs coming up, we're green!
Big move coming off the 3.
2, 3, 4 abreast in some spots.
Side-by-side action.
He absolutely nailed it.
3-way battle.
And we've got an incident. You would expect nothing less.
Flips the inside apex.
Very racy.
This is going to get interesting.
That is a break.
What a pass!
This is what World Challenge is all about.
Welcome to Miller Motorsports Park, and it is time for the round that's coming up. Is going to be the 13th round of the Touring Car A, Touring Car B. And well, I'll tell you, it's absolutely great to be able to spend a couple of moments there with Steve Doherty. Again, one of the few guys to be able to get after and take a win away from champion-elect Michael DeMeo. And we say champion-elect for one specific reason. There's an outside shot, and it would be something that really we don't envision happening, where Michael would make some sort of a mistake, take somebody out, end up with a points penalty that would be severe enough to pull him out of it. Not very likely, but still in all, we have to play that game just a little bit. But Michael DeMeo obviously looks to have this one wrapped up. If he can come from a little bit deeper in the pack than certainly he wanted with a 6th-place qualifying spot today, that would be an opportunity for him to break a record that we've been talking about. He sits tied right now with 7-time World Challenge champion Peter Cunningham for most wins in a season at 8. And if he can win one of the 2 here this weekend, he would break that record. If he could sweep somehow, guess what? Be the only guy ever to dip into the double digits with wins in a season in Pirelli World Challenge competition. So pretty spectacular opportunities here. Let's take a look at our starting lineup for this 13th round of the championship. I tell you, on the pole, Adam Poland in his Texas Trackworks East Tex Motorsports Mazda MX-5 put in a stunning lap, turning a 1-minute 37.762 time for an average speed of 82.6 miles an hour in his number 11 MX-5, absolutely obliterating the track record. And the only guy to get beneath the old track record. Not only that, he was 1.2 seconds faster than anybody else. Tell you, that MX-5 apparently carrying some great speed here. Second, number 41, Mike Pettiford. Only the second weekend he and his team have been racing. They raced at Brainerd earlier in his number 41 Go For It Racing School's Hawk Brakes Pontiac Solstice. Third, the guy that we just had the opportunity to visit with and who's bolting to his car, the number 94, Steve Doherty, in the Nissan GT Academy Skull Candy and Nissan Altima Coupe. Fourth, number 72, Carl Thompson, coming off of a strong weekend up at Brainerd International Raceway a couple of weeks back, and the Children's Tumor Foundation HPD Racing for Research Honda Civic Si from his own Compass 360 team. Fifth, number 30, Fred Emick in the Emick Racing VW Jetta GLI. Bad news for his teammate. We'll get to that in just a minute. Sixth, the number 71 of champion-elect Mike DeMille, rookie, but boy, who'd know it, in the Grand Alarms Compass 360 Honda Civic. Seventh, number 19, Emily Tomanovich. That's the teammate to Fred Emick in her Chesapeake Electrical Charter Emick VW GLI. Had a major motor issue this morning. Not sure whether she is going to be able to take the start. So we'll keep an eye on that. Eighth overall, still in touring cars, the number 42, Lisa Noble. She's the president and CEO of the Sports Car Club of America, and she's in the Go For It Racing School's Hot Brakes Pontiac Solstice. Teammate to Mike Pettiford, and she is racing in the carrying the colors of the charity Maxton's Fight, a dear, dear special friend of ours, young man, very young man, fighting cancer, and he is the son of SCCA's media director Eric Prill and his wife, and a very special charity, Maxton's Fight, and Lisa racing to raise not only awareness but money, and that's a good thing. And in ninth, finally, a final car in the touring car group, number 93, that is Doherty's teammate Brian Heitkotter in the Nissan GT Academy Skull Candy Nissan Altima Coupe. Struggled in qualifying, did not get a time down, so we'll be starting at the back. Touring car A, TCA. A bit of a ringer coming in here, and I'm sure it's going to frustrate some of the other players in the field. He's a driver that races at Le Mans, the World Endurance Championship, a factory driver for Kia and GTS, and he's been brought in basically to steal points, and he did just that. Getting the pole in the number 38 Kinetic Motorsports Kia Forte Coupe, taking those points away from the guys chasing his erstwhile teammate, Jason Wolf, who's the point leader. Ernie Francis in the number 98 Breathless Performance Mazda qualified second. He would have earned those 7 points and would have closed up on the championship. He's in there with a shout at the championship with his doubleheader weekend. Jason Wolf, the points leader, the number 36, the rookie out of Mount Vernon, Ohio, in the Wolf Trucking Kia Forte Coupe, qualified third. Fourth, another rookie, the number 13, Jason Cherry, in his Autism Society of America AvPro Mazda MX-5. And completing the TCA field, the lady who was second in the points and not far back, and surely would have liked those 7 as well. At least, I guess Nick Johnson stole them from his own teammate, so karma playing a role there. Number 67, Shea Holbrook in the Radium True Car and Lucas Oil Honda Civic Si, second in the championship. If she somehow comes out of this weekend with a win, she would become the only woman to ever win a class championship in the Pirelli Touring Car Championship. As you look at the cars right now, making their way out on the installation lap, again, standing starts for all 4 of the races coming this weekend, and you're in for a treat because right after this race concludes, we go right into pre-race essentially after Victory Circle for this race for the 15th round of the 16-round championship for GT and GTS. So you got a lot to be watching here today from Miller Motorsports Park. Big story in Touring Car B. Johann Schwartz, who just came off of a sweep of the weekend at Brainerd International Raceway, put the car, his Animus ADA American Honda Fit, on pole. However, it was judged to have fallen afoul of the technical regulations, was bounced, and is at the back of the field. So point leader, and this is huge because there is a 3-car battle for the championship here in TCB. Brian Price is the point leader. He now inherits those 7 points. That's huge in the Car Square Unlimited Racing Honda Fit. So he will be on pole. Now over one of the gentlemen that's chasing him in the championship, number 14, Nathan Stacy, the 14-year-old driving the TSG Ford Racing Ford Fiesta from Motorsports Development Group. Qualified third. I think it's his best qualifying of the season. Number 57 of Andre Kissel, rookie out of North Vancouver, British Columbia, in the Racing CA Laptop Screen Mini Cooper. Qualifying fourth, number 7. A great qualifying effort for Jason Fichter in his Surefire Security Mini Cooper. The other guy who's in the points battle is Tyler Palmer. He qualifies in the 5th spot, the number 37. Mobil 1, a Flying Owl Racing and Discount Mini Cooper. You see next, Paul Holton qualified in the 6th spot in his number 65 Radium TrueCar Lucas Oil Honda Fit. 7th will be the number 58 of Glenn Nixon, a winner this year in the Racing CA Laptop Screen Mini Cooper. And the grid is clear. You can see them forming up. Glenn Nixon will be next up. Nick Dunsty making his debut in the championship. Leo Parenti in the 00 entry, and we're green. Racing is underway, and completing the field in the back row, if you will be the number 24 of Tom Mobil, and then Johann Schwartz back in 12th, but sweeping into the lead. Mike Pettiford jumps into the early lead, gets around Adam Poland, and moves to the point now. Right on their heels, though, is Steve Doherty. And Doherty now funneling his way, working up and into a couple of these tricky complexes here, Jeff. They're running the west course here. It's 2.2 miles, essentially. Very, very busy, and it's been a great challenge. And look at Adam Poland already all over the back of Mike Pettiford, heading into the Black Rock hairpin.
Yeah, lots of grip through here as this course has been used all race long and all event long, but now it's onto the inside. Adam Poland to the lead over Michael Pettiford.
Well, I tell you, Adam, it just was unbelievably quick in qualifying. That got Poland, as he got through it, got Pettiford offline. Here comes Doherty, and Doherty actually goes by both of them as that pass slowed them both out. But Poland, the inside line, Jeff, into the corner, and look at that immense move. Absolutely crossed up inside. How did he hang on to that?
I don't know. Brian Highcutter does it all the way to the outside. I'm going to start calling that the Gran Turismo move there through turn number 6. What a great power slide in that Nissan Altima front-wheel drive. You put your foot down, pulls the front wheels, and pulls you back straight, and he did a good job of that, even in the dirt.
Well, he had started back in 9th, so he was trying to get most of it back in couple of corners here on this opening lap. Unbelievable stuff. Highcutter, look at, he's still loose. Those rear tires are dirtied up now at this point after that bounce through. It's silty here. This desert sand is so fine. But onto the front straight we go, and Adam Poland leading away now with the red car. That is Pettiford. Sitting in 2nd. Right behind him is Doherty. And in 4th now, that looks to be Carl Thompson, then Highcutter, and then Fred Emick. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like Emily Tomanovic able to make the start due to that problem in qualifying.
Yeah, unfortunately, put a rod through the engine block, is similar to her teammate Fred Emick did at Brainerd Motorsports, or Brainerd International Raceway. She will get that car fixed overnight. That Energy Motorsports team going to work on it all night long to get it back for her tomorrow. But Nick Janssen, our TCA leader, bringing the ringer in that Kinetic Motorsports Kia Forte Coupe, as we see Paul Holton, and I believe that's either Glenn Nixon, having a tangle in his Honda Fit. I'm not sure where this is on the course. I believe that's down there in turn number 1 in Sunset.
Yeah, that's the battle for 4th. So they both get together. They're going to lose a lot of ground here. They try and gather it up. One of the great things about this track, mega runoff here, so you can have a moment like that, and you won't get a lot of cautions here for that very reason. That's great. Having a look right there, the 67 of Shea Holbrook, and she comes in here 2nd in the points, but we've talked about that ringer coming in, just stealing points, and obviously didn't affect Holbrook too much because she had qualified a couple of spots back. And the irony is that obviously Ernie Francis, who's in that championship chase, could have used those 7 points, but he also may have just stolen them from his teammate, Jason Wolf. A little karma maybe there.
Just a little bit. But of course, our coverage here presented by Kia, live at WorldChallengeTV.com. There is Jason Wolf, your points leader. 2nd place in our Touring Car A category. His teammate Nick Janssen right in front of him. But Ernie Francis Jr. getting around Jason Cherry for that final podium space in TCAs. It looks like Shea Holbrook just dropping a couple wheels off on the exit of turn number 8, coming back onto the front stretch. It's Kia 1st and 2nd, Mazda 3rd and 4th, and then Shea Holbrook in her Honda in 5th.
Yeah, it's just pretty interesting watching what's unfolding here. There's Janssen, and the interesting thing is it looks like he's not too far adrift right now of, that is Mike DeMeo, the number 71. He's just has been struggling. He really had a bad qualifying from his perspective.
Yeah, he said, you know, track time is track time. He hasn't been in a car in almost 2 months, so he's kind of getting acclimated to getting back into the race and getting that going. And a lot of special awards and partners of the Pirelli World Challenge, including our Optima Battery Best Standing Start Award, goes to the number 93, Brian Highcotter. We saw him bouncing around, sliding around, doing everything he could, but he did pick up 3 spots on that start.
And did it in spectacular style, we might add. So thank you, Brian. Boy, those two good boys in those Nissans, you know, you saw what Doherty did in the rain at Mid-Ohio and what Highcotter's doing here in the dry desert. Pretty spectacular stuff. Great to see. We were just seeing for a moment an awesome battle for third in the TCA category. Ernie Francis and Jason Cherry were really glued to each other. Now going back to Touring Car B, that's your leader, Brian Price. Boy, Nate Stacey not letting him get away.
He sure is not, with that penalty that Johann Schwartz got, moved him all the way to the back. That's kind of put Brian Price in the catbird seat. He finishes in front of Nate Stacey and Tyler Palmer in third. Great start from him in that Mini USA Mobile 1, the PaintersFriend.com Mini Cooper, up to third place. First, second, and third in the championship is first, second, and third running order in the TCB class.
Yeah, and right now with Price, as we said, inherited those 7 points. So now he's got an 84-point lead over Nate Stacey and 114 points over Tyler Palmer and 142 points over Paul Holden. That 84 points, that's significant stuff. Again, 2 rounds here. There's over 280 points when you get in bonus points and the like. But still, you know, if Price can continue to do what he's doing, that's going to settle it anyway.
Yeah, it sure will. He'll have a commanding lead going into the last round. If that gap is 146, he is your champion, barring a penalty in the next round. If he gets a points penalty, that could obviously change some things. But Nate Stacey not letting Brian Price getting out of the realm of reach here, and his CarSquare.com Honda Fit, brand new sponsor for the season, looking for good things next year. Boy, a big claggle of cars here behind Tyler Palmer, Andre Kiesel, PJ Gronke. Looks like right behind him with Leo Parente. You see him in the Fiat 500 back there, and Johann Schwartz working his way up right behind this lead group here at PJ Gronke.
Yeah, Johann has definitely made up a number of spots starting at the back of the field, obviously as a result of that penalty. But Tyler Palmer, remember, is in this championship. But right now, that lead duo has just gapped everybody right now, Jeff.
And that happens in the Touring Car B-Spec. These guys start racing side by side like they did on the start. Touring Car B-Spec, the cars are so close that when they get side by side, the 2 front guys nose to tail, they just pull away.
So right now, Tyler is hoping that Andre Kiesel and PJ Gronke and the rest of that gang just race together here. Use, you know, 3 cars. And as I say that, Johann Schwartz making the big move on PJ Gronke, trying to dive down underneath and, well, not able to get it done, and Gronke able to hang on to it. Boy, it's just, you know, watching these cars, they're so momentum-driven cars, aren't they?
Yeah, you saw PJ Gronke defend a little bit over Johann Schwartz, and that's now allowing Jason Fichter to get around Johann Schwartz. That happens that quick. You make a move, you get sideways, you start to slow down, and he's under attack now. He'll have the inside line through turn number 7. Way up on the curb. You see those guys get way up on 2 wheels in these B-Specs, coming around turn number 8 and then on to turn number 9 onto the front stretch.
Boy, they are fun to watch. They've been putting on racing like this all season long. And I love turn 7, Demon Devil Diablo, a triple apex left-hander. That is just one of the great corner complexes here at Miller Motorsports Park. Boy, I'll tell you what, Tyler Palmer still doing everything he can to just fend off a very aggressive Andre Kiesel. He's having a fabulous weekend, Andre is.
Yeah, he sure is. Qualified way up there in the standings. I believe he was, I think, 4th on the grid, and great run for him. Actually, when I went down through the pre-grid area, kind of telling everybody having a good race, I said, hey, Glenn Nixon, wait, oh, wait, you're Andre Kiesel, my bad, sorry. You know, cars look very close and similar, and Glenn Nixon has outpaced him all season long, but Andre Kiesel getting the better of his teammate today.
Well, with the number 12 of Schwartz getting penalized at the back of the field, Kiesel ended up getting the 3rd qualifying spot, so just absolutely on form here this weekend and doing a great job, and this is always some of the most compelling racing you're going to see. Just to update you on the Touring Car A category points battle, Wolf has the lead now with 36 points. over Shea Holbrook, and sitting third, 75 points back at Jason Wolf, is Ernie Francis. So that's where that sits. A little bit closer than the battle here, but here's what it looks like out front, and boy, he tattooed him in qualifying. I think he's adding a little ink here to that tattoo here in the early stages of this 40-minute race, Jeff.
Yeah, it just says fastest race lap at a 1:38.530. Why that's important? Because tomorrow the qualifying determines your the qualifying order determines your fastest race lap during race number 1 here today, round number 13, respectively. So right now, pole again would go to Adam Poland, regardless of the outcome right now, unless nobody goes faster than that later on in the race.
And, of course, he's being hounded. That second car in this battle is Steve Doherty. And Doherty shows the nose again just a little bit. Not quite close enough. Just trying to rattle, I think, Pettiford as they head into the Black Rock hairpin. Now make the exit of that, heading back west again, looking at Desiree Peak and that beautiful mountain complex in the background. And not quite in the right spot to get through. But I think what he's trying to do is just to get in the mirrors, rattle Pettiford just a little bit, trying to get him offline just enough where he can make the pass.
Well, right there through turn number 6 as well, the inside of that corner is really banked. If you can get way down on the inside, you can really shoot off with the momentum. And just like I saw Doherty do, unfortunately, you got the outside turn out there for number 8. Doesn't get you in that right position. But if you can get a nose on a guy, you might be able to stick side by side, put your nose in there and able to stay down.
Yeah.
As Jason Wolf under attack by Ernie Francis Jr. and Jason Cherry.
Yeah, and this is huge here because Janssen is out front by a chunk. You've got to think if Wolf is sitting second, Janssen would let him through. But if obviously Ernie Francis or Jason or particularly Shea Holbrook can get through on them, that's going to change the dynamic of what's going on here. And in spots, it looks like certainly Francis has the speed on Wolf, but you get to a couple of these corners here, Wolf able to gap him just a little bit.
Well, the turbocharged of those Kia Forte coupes create their own atmosphere here on the higher altitudes, so a little bit better power. They don't lose as much versus the normally aspirated 2-liter Mazda MX-5s that we see running 3rd and 4th in our TCA category. So down these straightaways and coming off the corner, they'll be a little bit better. Mazda MX-5, better under braking, better handling mid-corner speed. So we'll see them close up on Jason Wolf, maybe try to get around him and catch him in a braking zone.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch this whole dynamic unfold. Second, there's third, Ernie Francis, that black and orange highlighted Mazda MX-5. And then right behind him, again, Jason Cherry, always doing a superb job.
Got a mirror on the driver's side there of Ernie Francis Jr. Breathless Performance, the Traumatic Brain Injury Foundation supporting that as well. Going to auction off some helmets. I think everybody's going to get rid of their helmets. Jason Cherry has an Autism Society helmet. He's going to auction off. But that mirror there, flapping around back and forth, he's got no visuals. I think he might have just grabbed it and pulled it inside the car now, make it a little bit easier.
Yeah, just so it's not distracting here. And you know, obviously, the best defense off and the good offense, just go to the front, drive as fast as you can, and let things settle out. So there's the battle. Second, third, and fourth. Points leader, third in the points, right behind him, and then Jason Cherry sitting fourth in the points right now. There's Shea Holbrook, and she's dropped back. There was a BOP adjustment to that car. They lowered the rev limit a little bit on the Touring Car A Honda Civics, and clearly that may be affecting Shea just a little bit here.
Yeah, it sure been a lot of adjustments. The Kia Forte Coupes got some more weight. The Mazda MX-5's got an extra 50 pounds, and then the 200, they actually raised the rev limiter. They dropped it 500 RPMs before our Brainerd round, then raised it back up in another 200 RPM, so I believe the rev limiter at 7,200 now on that Honda Civic, but still not what you want to have coming when you come here to altitude.
Correct, yeah. I mean, that's a huge change. Now, here we go. Look at Nate Stacy taking a look. Is he close enough? Not quite. Just trying to get in the mirrors. Once again, a Brian Price. And we've said it before, I love what's unfolding here. The age differences of our three major combatants here in the Touring Car B points battle. You know, Brian Price is the old guy at 30-something. You know, I mean, that's just unbelievable.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's a couple months younger than me, and I keep calling him the old guy, so I got to be careful doing that. You got to be careful,
yeah, exactly. Then you got Nate Stacy behind him, who's all of 14, and then you got Tyler Palmer, who's all of, what, 21. So, I mean, it's a great battle, and it just goes to show in Touring Car B, you get a great variety of competitors, let alone manufacturers.
Yeah, you got Honda Fit right in front, Ford Fiesta behind him, Mini Cooper behind that, Fiat 500 racing in the series. It's such great parity that we have across all the classes of Pirelli World Challenge, especially here in TCB.
Now, do you think here we see Nate showing the nose every once in a while, but he really hasn't attacked in any way. 40 minutes, not a long race, but still these cars being so momentum-driven, you've got to take care of those tires just a little bit. You think he's just content to follow right now and then hopefully have something left to go after Price later?
Well, that could be, and as well, when we're at the lower air, you don't get the cooling air of this. He's been tucked up behind Brian Price. These small little 1.5-liter engines are revving up, and they're pushing really hard. He might just be trying to cool those engine temperatures a little bit as well.
That's a very good point, obviously. And one of the things here, you know, this is a track located in the desert. We talked about right there, you see that little bit of dust and puff. That comes back, blows back on the track a little bit. And this track, as a race unfolds, can get slicker and slicker instead of grippier. And so everybody, I think, just being a little bit mindful of that. But boy, Nate Stacey right now, not worried about overheating that thing. He is tucked into the draft right now of Price. Boy, he got a great run into one of the arguably best passing points on this track. Is he going to go for it this time? He's close, can't quite get it done, and now he's got our overall race leader, Adam Poland, coming in to really involve things. Oh, and he got a nose down the inside of Price, exiting Blackrock, and Poland sweeping around the outside of both of them, and that may have been the one thing that actually negated the opportunity for Stacey to do much with it, because Price had to move over to let Poland through.
And just looking on the monitor there, I see Steve Doherty up to second place around Michael Pettiford. Looking on my timing chart too, not sure where that happened, but Pettiford down to third place. Stephen Doherty on the charge over Adam Poland. We'll have to start watching that gap. It's currently 3.3 seconds. We'll see what happens next time by. Oh, unfortunate for Nate Stacey having that touring car slide in between the two.
Yeah, Doherty just got down and split the two of them for a minute. But now he's going to trap Price a little bit. Price can't get the exit he wants, use up all the track, kills that momentum, which is precious in touring car B, and Stacey probably going to be able to run right back up on him.
Well, traffic taking the traffic of it away. It's a big tank slapper for Nate Stacey coming on the outside. Michael Pettiford just wants to get around these guys. Nate Stacey, that sure affected his momentum, pulls back now 3 car lengths away from Brian Price.
Yep, just trying to carry speed, and you carry it a little bit too much, and the grip goes away. That's just the nature of the beast here as Pettiford slides through. You can see, though, the margin right now between Stacey sitting in that second spot back to Tyler Palmer. Visually, you can see it. It's officially some 7 seconds. Ooh, and that is Leo Parente in the 00. Looks like he's got a broken right front corner, Jeff.
Yeah, not sure. It looks like there was a tire mark right in that front bumper. Might have been some contact, or that could just be residual. Hopefully it was not contact, but he was running in that pack that was all behind Tyler Palmer, P.J. Gronke, Johan Swartz, and that big group there, and damage to the right front. Not sure where he's off on the track either. We might have to go full course yellow if he'll be in an impact zone.
Yeah, everybody will be looking at it, just seeing where the cars track out in that part of the spot. If he's really not in a target area where a car would go off, they might just say, nope, we'll let it go. But if he is, you've got to always act in the course of safety. And again, Stacey trying a great move at the exit of the Blackrock hairpin, and that's where that happened. It's the exit of Blackrock, Jeff, is where that is. And it's off to the actually driver's left. Really not an area where you'd expect to see cars get in, so they might just let this one go.
Yeah, I did see that, and I saw Tom Noble in the 4R Motorsports Hawk Performance Mini Cooper. Not sure if there was contact between those drivers, as they are teammates under that 4R banner there, over there with Scott Cooney, the team principal there. And sad if that was the case. Hopefully they can get that car fixed and run back tomorrow, because for charity with Leo Parente.
Yeah, once again, Brian Price now really, as these cars are overtaking him, although again it slows him up a little bit there, but for minute 2 of those touring cars in between himself and Nate Stacey, and Price will just love that. Lets him go. Obviously the quicker cars, a higher class, just accelerate right by. And it's interesting now, look at this. Looks as though unless Jason Cherry's been able to slide through, and he hasn't, right now Jason Wolf and Ernie Francis Jr. have dropped Jason Cherry. Oh, Ernie Francis dropping all 4 tires off on the exit there. Gathers it up, doesn't lose much.
Kept his foot right in it, and right through the dirt, comes on to the front stretch. Jason Wolf feeling the pressure. He drops 2 wheels off on the exit. A big, bad bump there. That could be devastating later on if you bend a wheel or break a wheel or put a tire down. You got to be careful on the curbs here, because you mentioned the high desert up here next to the Great Salt Lake. You do not want to drop wheels off these curbs. It's a very, very sharp edge.
Absolutely. Somebody else just dropping some wheels there as well. It's easy to tell. Would you see Ernie Francis just got real loose on the entrance there to turn 2.
Yeah, a lot of lap traffic here with our touring car B-Spec category. Nick Dunstey making his debut in Pirelli World Challenge in that Honda Fit, all part of that laptopscreen.com, racing.ca, Nixon Pro Sports team. So running 3 cars now with Glenn Nixon and Andre Kiesel. So great run for him with Nick Dunstey. And boy, tight stuff here as you see Ernie Francis Jr. all over the brakes trying to get around Jason Fichter.
Yeah, but he's trying to just stay with Wolf, and I saw Nick Janssen try a real late aggressive move down into Blackrock. and he was a little bit crossed up getting underneath some of these TCB guys. Looks like he was able to make it work, but that's sketchy because they're in a points battle of their own here.
Yeah, they don't want to give up anything as they're trying to battle back up through the field. Tyler Palmer still with Andre Kiesel being pressured. Johann Swartz falling back a little bit, and PJ Gronke behind him trying to catch up. Tyler Palmer holding down third place in TCB.
Boy, this is fun to watch as now everybody, you're getting your second place in TCA going by third in TCB. Not much room there, Jeff. Boy, side by side. That's close quarters action.
Yeah,
Look
they
at
sure
Ernie.
are. Oh, I'm not sure if there was contact there, but Andre Kiesel drops a couple wheels off. Does not lose a position. Boy, that's scary stuff there. If he would have hooked and came right back in front of Johann and PJ Gronke, that could have been pretty scary.
Ernie went to thread the needle, and yeah, absolutely got Kiesel. I don't think he hit him, but I think Kiesel checked up for a minute. All the weight on the nose, the back end just rotates around, and he was quick enough to just go back to the gas and let that front end pull him back straight. But multi-class racing, man, that's the beauty of it.
That's what happens. Like we said before, it giveth and it taketh away. That quick, just like that, it can happen. You see the gap that Jason Wolf pulled away when they got in those lap TCB cars. Now a commanding battle for second place as Jason Wolf pulls about maybe 2.5 seconds away from Ernie Francis Jr.
Yeah, and that's, again, the traffic, and you've got to use the traffic as best you can. And when you've got cars coming through to overtake you, you also want to use them. And again, Nate Stacy on a clear track, he runs Price down, then he gets another one of these cars coming up. That is Nick Janssen getting right in between the two of them, and it's going to happen again as Wolf is closing.
Yeah, Jason Wolf starting to close up onto his teammate, and we'll see if that's some strategy there in the last lap. And, Nick Janssen has a problem, and, Jason Wolf able to get around him. You never know. He could be good for the points for him.
Well, that's why Ernie wants to stay really close to Wolf and try and get around him before that happens, as we're at the halfway point now. So he wants to just keep pressuring. And that Mazda MX-5 incredibly well balanced. The car in front is that Kia. That is a front drive car. It tends to be a little harder on those tires. And if Ernie can stay close, that'll be huge.
Yeah, especially like we said, if Nick Janssen has a problem, if Jason Wolf has a problem, Ernie Francis Jr. will be right there. He's not out of this championship by far, especially even moving up to second place with Shea Holbrook, who's actually in fifth right now. She's running at lap times of about a second quicker than this group, so finally getting into the groove in her. Shea Racing, Lucas Oil, supporting this weekend with the Center for Bone and Joint Disease. So a lot of great charity she's always done in the touring car category, and you see her marred back there in that TCB traffic.
As Wolf feeds it down into turn one, there is Ernie Francis. That is second and third, and it's the two people that are in the points battle that are up in the front end of this touring car A battle. But boy, I'll tell you, Adam Poland, he has just been clocking it all weekend.
Yeah, he took the time off from Brainerd International Raceway. Called him lazy there on pre-grid. He kind of joking a little bit and said we just needed to, save up some money, do some testing, come back out and be strong. Go back to our Road America setup for this track. Ironically enough, he said I'm going to run my Road America setup because I pretty much did really good there.
Yeah.
Why, don't fix something that ain't broke?
Well, and this track has those long, high-speed corners and corners that you can carry speed. And so that allows you to obviously to maximize the setup and make it work at this point. So as we watch Adam Poland leading overall, we're going to step away here on our global webcast. We'll of course carry the action right here at the track at Miller Motorsports Park over the PA. But on the web, we'll be right back with you. And welcome back to all of our viewers out on our global webcast. Great to have you here. And well, I'll tell you, you're seeing some fierce battling unfolding. This is touring car, and that is a battle right now for fourth. Brian Heitkotter in that black with blue highlights. Nissan, the Skull Candy Nissan GT Academy car. Carl Thompson in the number 72 Compass 360 Children's Tumor Foundation. HBD and Racing for Research on it. These guys have been at it hammer and tong.
Yeah, they sure have. And I said it before during the qualifying, but now that it's being recorded, I got to think Carl Thompson has a heavier right foot right now. He's got 13 stitches in it and cut himself on the sliding glass door glass. I thought he'd be quicker than this. How's this for a stat? The first race this year in the running order, we've not had a Compass 360 Honda Civic SI in podium contention. 9 wins on the season for the team. That many podiums all season long, 12 podiums, not one in podium contention right now. Not sure what's going on, but the altitude definitely affecting these Honda Civic SIs.
Absolutely, and I mean they also have an opportunity to at least tie a record that their team has set in and of itself for a team, number of wins by a team in a season as well. So there's certainly some motivation going on here, but right now they just don't quite seem to have the pace, Jeff.
No, I'm not sure. We'll have to go back and see what, I haven't had a chance to talk to the team to even know what it is. But yeah, Michael DeMeo and Carl Thompson just both don't seem to be on the pace. DeMeo running in 7th, Carl Thompson in this battle for 4th.
And there he's just doing the bob and weave, and I think one, get into the mirrors a little bit, but also I think you're absolutely right. At this elevation, it's a mile high here at Miller Motorsports Park. That's a lot thinner air, and there are cooling issues. And we have had some teams that have talked about they've had to, change some things on the cars. Turbos have had to actually dial boost back a little bit, et cetera, because they're just overheating a little bit.
Yeah, the thin air up here, not a lot of air going through the radiator, so helps cool it off. But back to the battle in our touring car A. Ernie Francis Jr. desperately trying anything he can do to get around Jason Wolf, pick up some valuable points. It's going to help him against Jason Wolf in the overall championship, but it'll be tremendous in his championship if he can gap a car between himself and Shea Holbrook. He's got one now with Jason Cherry. Yep. If he can put 2 between himself and Shea Holbrook, I believe looking at the standings here, he was only 75 points behind Jason Wolf and only 39 points behind Shea Holbrook.
Yeah, I mean, he's close. And I think, he is doing what he needs to do. He is just hounding and hounding and hounding and trying to get that front drive car that has to, everything going through those front tires, acceleration, braking, turning, suspension. And if he can just really keep pressuring him to the point that Jason uses those fronts up just a little bit, that might be exactly what Ernie needs. Boy, did he get a run that time. He's not quite close enough. That was a short shoot heading down into a very tight corner. They call that West 10 here. And now onto the front straight one more time. And you can see Ernie Francis is there.
Yeah, right on that back bumper. Jason Wolf now, instead of dropping the 2 tires off right next to the turn, go almost 4 tires off. Ernie Francis Jr. following on out of the exit of turn number 10 onto the straightaway into Sunset on the bend, watching the rear of that Kia Forte Coupe bounce around. We saw that at Brainerd International Raceway, and it was kind of just the nature of that car and how it's built and what they do at Kinetic Motorsports. Great build on that car. The first time these cars saw action was when they rolled out of the truck at Barber Motorsports Park. So it's been a development for that year, that team all year long, and that car, but doing a good job leading the points.
Yeah, and Jason has just been really superb, hasn't he? Stepping into that sort of lead seat and has brought them right into contention. A bit of lockup there. Is that Holton? I don't know if I hope it was just lockup.
Yeah, it looked like he was just dragging that rear tire when he was up in the corner of that left rear. And pretty nature on the front wheel drive car here.
Letting him slide through, and Ernie trying to just float around the outside as well. He's through. Boy, that did cost Ernie. You can just see that little bit of a momentum change. We talk about momentum in the Touring Car B class, but all of these cars, by the design of Touring Car A, they're not monster horsepower cars. They're very much momentum cars. That's huge. Speaking of momentum cars, here's the battle once again in Touring Car B. Nothing's changed. Price is leading it. Nate Stacy all over the back of the veteran.
Yeah, right now Nate Stacy using the draft off that Honda Fit sets fastest race lap this time by 151.691. Brian Price sets his fastest race lap that same lap at a 151.808. Interesting stat, Johan Swartz up to 4th around Andre Kiesel sets the exact same lap time as Brian Price at a 151.808. We'll have to see how the computer would play that out, but if it was to end right now, Nate Stacy would be on the pole for race number 2, and Brian Price and Johan Swartz would be side to side, 2nd and 3rd.
Oh boy, that'd be pretty fascinating, wouldn't it? By the way, just looking in TCA second, Nick Janssen, the ringer, he's got the fast lap. You'd expect that, but Ernie Francis Jr. has the 2nd fast lap, faster than Wolf. So on a clear track, Francis has a little bit more speed. The problem is whenever he catches Jason, he's got to run Jason's speed, and therefore makes it a little tough to be able to get through.
Yeah, just can't quite get around. But what can we say enough about Brian Price this season? 4 wins this season, destroyed the car in the kink at Road America. When you talk about destroying a car in the kink, that's what he did. Owns a body shop, got that car back fixed in the RP Performance Unlimited Auto Body, picked up carsquare.com at the Brainerd Round. Go check out carsquare.com. It's a search engine for used cars. I don't know why we didn't think of that before, to do that sort of the kayak for used cars. And great job for them partnering with Brian Price, trying to win a Touring Car B-Spec championship, and just a great job by that driver.
And this is, really what Touring Car B is all about, because I had the pleasure for a few years. Brian Price would run at the ARC, the American Road Race of Champions, which is a big regional sort of the club class national championship. It's unofficial, of course, at Road Atlanta, and he was absolutely superb there. And this was a chance for him on a club racer's budget to get in and do a little bit of pro racing, and has been absolutely superb from the get-go. Boy, we're watching a battle here. Johan Swartz is glued to the back of Tyler Palmer right now. Tyler, even to the point, feinting left just a little bit, trying to dissuade Johan from trying to make the move.
Yeah, something has happened, though. There's damage to the left rear corner of Tyler Palmer's Mini USA, the paintersfriend.com Mini Cooper. Andre Kiesel was behind both of these cars. Now he's in front of them. He's up to third place, sets his fastest race lap at a 1:51.767. That puts him second on the grid tomorrow. But Tyler Palmer drops a couple wheels right after the curbing there. Johan Swartz under attack. Mike Pettiford to the outside, back to the inside, trying to get around these two drivers.
Oh, knifes down, and Johan just trying to stay put. He does not want to lose touch with Tyler. And Pettiford, they're giving each other lots of room, and that's a good thing. But all of this right now, boy, Jason Victor is having a superb run, isn't he?
Yeah, he sure is. That Surf, Fire, and Security Mini Cooper, supported by Breathless Performance. The youngster, 15 years old. We talk about all these kids running through there, starting to run down these two guys as they're battling for fourth position. So fourth, fifth, and sixth, nose to tail now.
Yep, Tyler Palmer, the blue Mini USA Mini, sits in fourth, and right behind him is Schwartz. And then Victor, boy, Victor actually got a good run out of West 10.
Yeah, coming down in here, can he get the draft down into turn number one? Boy, look at Johan Swartz tucked up right behind Tyler Palmer. I don't think you put a piece of paper between those two drivers.
Just going by that group of three, the number 42, Lisa Noble, in the team car to that red entry of Mike Pettiford's in the Hawk Performance Purifoy Go For It Racing School's entry, Maxton's Fight. And we all just want to always mention that as often as we can. Maxton Prill, just an amazing young man that's suffering from a cancer. And Lisa Noble, president, CEO of SCCA, said, yeah, I'll go and race, but I want to do it for something very special. And she is doing exactly that, trying to raise awareness and money for the fight against pediatric cancer.
Yeah, and she's actually setting some of her fastest laps of the weekend here during the race, getting acclimated to that car. And Max Prill, I know you're listening, buddy, and Super Max, bring me a cake to the runoffs in a couple of weeks, buddy. Can't wait to see you.
Absolutely, boy, what a fighter he is, that's for sure. Price continues, as we said, over Stacy and Andre Kiesel. What a great run for Andre. Janssen still leads teammate Wolf with Francis in third. And Poland, he just continues to lead Steve Doherty and then Mike Pettiford. But Brian Heitkotter, again, that battle he has been having with Carl Thompson, still a good one as well. So good scraps everywhere that we're watching here.
Looking at the times in our touring car category, if it was the end now, Michael Pettiford would once again have pole position. Steve Doherty would be second. Adam Poland got the pole on this first race, but Michael Pettiford, pole position, fastest race up with a 1:39.1. It would be Steve Doherty second with a 39.2, and then back to a 39.5. Your leader, Adam Poland, would start third tomorrow. So pole sitter today and leader would only be in third place tomorrow.
That's unbelievable. I mean, that's, we're fighting for championships, aren't we? So everything that unfolds here has huge implications.
There is Adam Poland. We did see Paul Holton right behind him, dropping a couple wheels off, still sliding around, but that East Tech Motorsports Texas Track Works, they took that car out there, did a lot of setup on that Mazda Miata at Texas Track Works. Coming back to the series, missed some rounds, won at Road America, got 3 podiums on the season, but Adam Poland doing a great job here this season. 8 top 10s in the races he's done in the 10 starts, so great job for him. And that Mazda MX-5, this is the 2.5 liter version, the current Mazda Speed MX-5 Pro Series car, so to speak, with the 2.5 liter motor. The cars that we see with Ernie Francis Jr. and Jason Cherry are the 2 liter versions of the MX-5 Cup car. So, 2 different configurations of 2 different Miatas. Same that we see with the Honda Civic SIs of Shea Holbrook running. She runs the 2 liter version where Michael DeMio and Carl Thompson, the Compass 360 Honda Civic SI, that's a 2.4 liter version of those engines. So, a little different configurations, a motor configuration spread across 2 different classes in Pirelli World Challenge.
And Poland has done what he's done all weekend long. Now he's coming up, and that is right up behind. Is that Janssen that he is caught now?
No, it's still Jason Wolf.
That's Jason Wolf. Oh, I'm sorry.
Battle here, man.
Yeah, that's Francis. That's what caught me out. That's boy, it's just amazing. And again, Ernie is clearly quicker because every time something happens where he gets gapped a little bit, he just immediately runs down Wolf. But as we said, you get to the rear deck of Wolf, you got to run that speed unless you can get by him. And that's where Ernie just has not figured out, or maybe he has, and he's just not letting us know.
I was going to say, he could just be waiting right to the end to make the move, get around him, and he already has picked his positions and knows where to go. So we'll see if that plays out. But Ernie Francis Jr. going to be desperate to get around Jason Wolf. If he wants a shot at this championship, he'll pick up a few points over Jason Wolf, but he should move into second place in TCA ahead of Shea Holbrook.
Yeah, and that's all he can do. You know, just try and keep moving up the order a little bit. And boy, he gets so close as he comes into West 10, and then you can see a little bit more grunt out of that corner from the Kia. And that means Ernie has just got to carry it and float it all the way in here and push, push, push very, very hard. So he's doing everything he can, and you can see he comes out of the first turn and into turn 2. You know, he's lost a little bit of ground, but eventually by the time almost he gets to Black Rock, he's made most of it up.
Yeah, he sure has. It really uses the power of that kinetic Kia Forte Coupe to pull away from Ernie Francis Jr. We mentioned the Mazda MX-5, a little better handling. He catches him down through this section of the track, turn 5 into Demon, Devil, and Diablo. Yeah, I like saying that. That's pretty cool.
I can tell.
But what's your opinion on these corners? I believe tracks like La Rouge, Mulsanne, they have to earn their names. This track, every corner already has a name. This is a pretty new facility.
It's a relatively new facility. Well, Alan Wilson designed it, and Alan Wilson had some ideas, he said, when he was building this track, and he said he just sat down with, you know, Mr. Miller, and they came up with it. They said, we want to have some fun names, and he said they wanted to do it because he said European tracks have names as opposed to corner numbers, and he said this was built in the you know, in the mold of a European track, and he said we wanted it to have names with every one of these corners, and you know, since Mr. Miller was writing the check, he got to pick some names, and you know, I like a few of them. Right, Demon, Devil, Diablo is what I remember. Alan McNish once doing a track description, and he said, now they call this this corner complex with that great Scottish accent is Demon, Devil, Diablo, but in my opinion, it should just be Hell 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, it just it's a fun complex, and that's what makes this track so fun to run.
Oh, that's great. Here we talked about Lisa Noble, right there, going for charity. Go to world-challenge.com/donate to donate right now for that. I believe we have about 4 laps left in this, so once again, donate for Maxton's fight and the Special Warriors Operation Foundation. Johann Schwartz getting around Tyler Palmer, or does he? Side by side.
This is what is so wonderful, and Victor right there, he's going to try and get down underneath now, see if he can do something with Schwartz. Schwartz a little wide. Victor's got that inside line. Can he stay put? Now down into Black Rock. Boy, this is going to be an absolute drag race. The problem is now you got a TCA machine coming right up and joining the fight. He gets through clean. And does Victor get through on Schwartz? He does, at least so far.
Yeah, so far. We'll see what happens on the exit. Victor needs to just slide up in front of him. Little slide job through turn number 5. Johann Schwartz trying to come back on the left. Not going to be able to do it through turn number 6 to the right-hander.
Wow, fascinating stuff. This is what we absolutely love. This is the battle essentially for 4th. And look at this. You got Wolf actually losing a little bit of momentum there. Is this an opportunity? No, now they're going to get down and around the outside of these Touring Car B cars in this battle for 2nd in Touring Car A with huge points implications. They both get through clean, but again, Ernie, you know, losing a little bit of ground in a spot he really couldn't afford to do that.
Yeah, you got both drivers got on the outside. Unfortunately, Jason Wolf got a little better run, got to the inside. Jason Victor, the inside of Tyler Palmer, puts his nose to the quarter panel. No contact there, but trying to make the move over Tyler Palmer.
Ernie Francis trying to move. I think he's through, Jeff.
Yeah, down to the inside of turn number 10 onto the straightaway. Did he make the move? Let's pan over to the left. Come on, camera guy, work with us here. There it is, side by side as they come down the straightaway. Ernie Francis Jr. over Jason Wolf. It's a drag race down to the front.
They hit, and it obviously Wolf, we know that car's got a little bit more power in a straight line, and he's able to get through, take that spot back. But boy, these two guys fighting for all it's worth right now for this 2nd spot.
Oh, going to get hung up a little bit here by Andre Kiesel with Jason Wolf. Going to want to get around him. Will Ernie Jr. try to make a pass right on the back bumper down to the inside of turn number 4.
Down, make the move, can't quite get it done. And again, this is going to be interesting because Ernie wants to get through to make sure that Nick doesn't suddenly just lift and let Wolf through if Wolf is in that spot. So Ernie wants to do everything he can to prevent that. And you saw Wolf, that was the first time we've seen Wolf go very defensive coming into the Black Rock hairpin. He knows Ernie now has come alive.
Yeah, no chance of that, but what did Ernie Francis Jr. learn in that complex? Can he make the move and get around Jason Wolf before the start-finish line? Can he do it? But white flag to Adam Poland.
Yeah, it's this close. Ernie going to take another look. Couldn't quite do it. Got down to the inside. Wolf, though, may have hit that curb pretty hard. Did it not enough. Not enough, and Ernie still right there. We are on the final lap for the overall leaders at this point. So, boy, this is fierce. You're headed down to Victory Circle. Thanks again, Jeff. Great call as always. You'll hear Jeff down in Victory Circle. By the way, when this Victory Circle is done, we will go right to the pre-race for round 15 of the GT and GTS championships. Ernie down to the inside. This time, no other traffic around. He's able to get through, parks it. Now, though, he's got to keep Wolf behind him. He tried to go right where Wolf wanted to go. Wolf sensed that and is driving right back by him. Boy, the power of that Kia in a straight line, that's huge. Ernie's got to get this pass done a couple of corners sooner than he's been able to do it here, I fear that Wolf will drive right back by him. I'm sure we're going to stay on this one as much as we can. We'll catch our winners in class coming by, but this not only is one of the best battles on the track, it's the one with the most points implications as well. Here comes Poland and comes through, gets the win overall and in touring car from pole. Beautiful day for Poland. Back to our battle for second in touring car as they head into Black Rock Hairpin. There's Wolf working through some touring car B traffic. Ernie thinking about it, and you can see there's that gap, and it's just the straight line speed of that Kia versus the handling and balance of that Mazda. Ernie running a little wide there. Boy, that may have been costly, but right now, Wolf is going to get hung up. I think he's going to get parked a little bit behind Nate Stacy. This might be what Ernie needs now. Wolf able to pull around, slide through here. Oh, this is fascinating stuff. They're into Demon Devil Diablo, the triple apex left-hander. As they come through, it's just this close. Fierce stuff. Ernie's so close right now. Price has been able to gap Nate Stacy. There's Price in that patriotic liveried machine, but here we go. Here comes Ernie. This is it. Last opportunity. He's doing it in traffic. Wolf's going to defend mightily here. And you can see Nick Janssen is lifted. He's slowed down. And Ernie going to try and force his way through. Wolf to the outside. Ernie's going to do... Here we go. Janssen's coming up. He's going to try and slow. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Nick had to go and hang on to the win because Ernie was coming. And so Nick takes those precious additional points. A little bit more karma maybe coming into play here. So Wolf is obviously, he's going to gain points on Ernie, but he's not going to gain anywhere near as much as if Janssen hadn't been on the track, as it turns out. Wow. This is an interesting development here. And so Wolf ends up with second, Francis third. And again, Brian Price hanging on for the win, actually able to gap Nate Stacy later in the going here. So pretty impressive stuff that we've been watching unfold in this battle in all of our classes. So just fascinating stuff. We're going to go back now and take a look here at how it finished because we're going to be getting down to Victory Circle here in pretty short order. Look at, there's Ernie. And I think all in all, he was able to stay close enough and keep Wolf honest enough that Janssen couldn't gift his teammate the win. There's Price. Look at that big car square in the side. That company has come on board, helped immeasurably, and it's made a big difference for them. But we're going to take you through the classes right now. That's Jason Cherry, by the way, who had a good run himself into fourth, that black and white Mazda MX-5. But Adam Poland getting the win, the number 11 Texas Track Works machine overall on a touring car. Second, the number 94. That's the Nissan GT Academy Team Skull Candy Nissan Altima Coupe of Steve Doherty. The number 41 of Mike Pettiford hanging on for the win, the third place, excuse me, in touring car in the Go Fort Hawk Brakes and Purifoy, number 41. Fourth, the number 93, getting around Carl Thompson. That is the team Nissan GT Academy Skull Candy Nissan Altima. And completing the top five, number 72, Carl Thompson. Cut foot and all, doing a nice job in his Compass 360 Children's Tumor Foundation HPD and Racing for Research machine. In touring car 8, Nick Janssen getting the win. Second, Jason Wolf, the Kia Forte Coupe, the Wolf trucking machine, your point leader, adding to his point tally. But again, with Janssen taking the win, there's a huge change in points from first to second. Not as much second to third, fourth, and so on. So Janssen being on track, if Wolf had won it outright over Francis, it would have been even a bigger day for Wolf in terms of padding his points. Ernie Francis, you know, this young man doing everything he possibly could to try and steal that second spot away. Just didn't, got around him a couple of times, but could never be around him when it counted at the finish line. So he ends up third. Jason Cherry, the number 13 we talked about, fourth. And Shea Holbrook coming in here 5th in the points, finishes 5th, and that's going to hurt her big time in terms of getting ready for the final round that'll unfold tomorrow. And in Touring Car B, Brian Price over Nate Stacey, Andre Kiesel, a tremendous run, Tyler Palmer to 4th, and Johan Swartz able to get back around Jason Fichter on the last lap and bring it home in 5th. Remember, we have a final round, round 14 of the Touring Car A, Touring Car B championships that will be unfolding right here at Miller Motorsports Park tomorrow. The championships will be decided. We're going to wrap things up here on our global web feed, but we'll be back with you in just a little bit for coverage of round 15 of the Pirelli World Challenge Championships, GT and GTS Championships, the penultimate round for the big bore machines, and that will be coming up here at Miller Motorsports Park, all part of the Nissan Championship Finale Weekend, brought to you by Motul. We'll see you in a while, folks.